They will tell you, loyalty is everything. They will tell you loyalty builds friendships, loyalty creates families, loyalty holds kingdoms together. But Machiavelli, the ruthless master of power, saw the truth that no one dares to admit. Loyalty will kill you, and here is the brutal hook that slices deeper than any knife. History's greatest downfalls never came from enemies on the outside, but from trusted friends, from allies, from supposed brothers who turned at the moment when gain outweighed devotion. Caesar had Brutus. Alexander had generals who whispered in shadows. Kings had councils filled with smiling assassins, and every one of them trusted loyalty until it destroyed them. Because loyalty is never permanent. Loyalty is conditional. Loyalty survives only as long as it serves self-interest, and the instant it stops serving, loyalty transforms into betrayal. Betrayal that stabs from the closest hand. Betrayal that cuts deeper because it comes dressed in the clothing of friendship. Machiavelli understood this truth centuries ago. He wrote that men are ungrateful, fickle, liars, deceivers, driven by advantage and survival, and anyone foolish enough to rely on loyalty walks willingly into ruin. If you believe loyalty is eternal, you are already preparing your own destruction, because no loyalty can resist the temptation of power. No loyalty survives hunger for money. No loyalty endures fear of death, and so the wise man does not depend on it. He prepares for betrayal at all times. He builds walls. He instills fear. He ensures that when loyalty dies, there is still control, still necessity, still consequences that keep people bound even when their hearts have already betrayed him. And this is why Machiavelli insisted fear is stronger than love. Fear lasts longer than loyalty. Fear survives temptation, because fear of pain is more powerful than the promise of devotion, and yet most people never see it. They keep chasing loyalty. They keep hoping in loyalty. They cling to it like children clinging to a dream. But when morning comes, the dream fades, the betrayal is real, and their downfall is complete. Think of your own life. How many friends swore loyalty to you only to vanish when gossip pulled them away? How many relationships broke when temptation whispered louder than promises? How many times has your loyalty been exploited by those who never truly valued it? Every human carries self-interest as their compass, and when your path no longer gives them advantage, they turn, no matter how many words of loyalty were spoken, because words are cheap and survival is priceless. Loyalty is not a shield but a blindfold. It makes you weak because you stop preparing for betrayal. You lower your guard, you hand over secrets, you open doors, and when the knife comes, you are unarmed. That is why betrayal feels like thunder from a clear sky, because loyalty kept you blind until the strike. Machiavelli wanted us to wake from this illusion, to see men as they are, not as we wish them to be. He taught that survival and power do not rest on loyalty, but on control, on suspicion, on ensuring betrayal costs more than loyalty ever gave. The cruel paradox is that loyalty is weakest where it seems strongest. Family, friendship, brotherhood, history proves it again and again. Caesar trusted Brutus. Jesus had Judas. Emperors had closest advisors turn into executioners. And you too will face betrayal, not from distant enemies, but from those who smiled at your table. Loyalty will kill you, not because betrayal is rare, but because you believed it would not happen, because you trusted the mask instead of fearing the truth. So if you want to survive, if you want to rise, if you want to rule, stop clinging to loyalty. Stop begging for devotion. Stop believing in permanence. Instead, build fear, build necessity, build consequences. Because while loyalty fades, fear never lies, necessity never weakens, and control never sleeps. Loyalty is the sweetest poison. Machiavelli revealed it, history proved it, and only fools still drink it. Loyalty will kill you because it blinds you to the truth. But Machiavelli did not stop at exposing this illusion. He gave rulers and survivors the tools to live beyond it, to thrive without it. And his first ruthless lesson was to never depend on loyalty, but to create structures where betrayal is too costly, where fear, respect, and necessity bind people tighter than any promise of devotion could ever do. He wrote that appearances matter more than reality, because men judge by what they see, not what they feel. And so you must appear to trust. You must appear to be loyal. You must wear the mask of friendship so that others lower their guard, but deep inside you trust no one. You calculate every move, you remain prepared for betrayal, because when it comes you will already be one step ahead. And this is how you turn loyalty from a weakness into a weapon. Machiavelli advised rulers to divide their allies to prevent unity, because a group bound together can overthrow you, but a group divided by suspicion will never unite against you. So a wise prince fans the flames of rivalry. He rewards one and ignores another. He creates jealousy and competition so that those who claim loyalty to him remain busy protecting their own position instead of plotting his downfall. Loyalty dies when unity forms, but betrayal cannot grow in division. His second law was control of information, because if people know your secrets, they control you, but if you control what they know, you control them. Machiavelli would say, reveal only what serves your purpose. Give them half-truths, give them illusions. Let them believe you trust them. Let them think they know you, while the real you remains hidden. Loyalty is destroyed by knowledge, but suspicion is fueled by ignorance. When you keep people uncertain, they obey because they cannot predict you. They cannot exploit you. And when unpredictability becomes your weapon, betrayal becomes too risky. His third strategy was punishment and reward, used not to buy loyalty, but to control behavior. He wrote that generosity should be used carefully like bait, never as a permanent habit, because men will take your gifts and still betray you. But if you reward strategically, if you punish ruthlessly, you create fear that survives beyond love when betrayal happens. Strike once with force so strong that no one forgets. Strike so fast that no one has time to plot revenge. This is why Machiavelli insisted cruelty well used is more merciful than kindness. Badly used for when betrayal sees no consequence, it multiplies, but when betrayal meets fear, it dies. His fourth law was that a ruler must be both fox and lion. The fox to recognize traps, the lion to terrify wolves. Loyalty will fool the lion who only trusts love. Loyalty will trick the fox who only deceives, but the one who is both sees betrayal before it happens and crushes it when it arrives. Machiavelli's wisdom here is timeless, because in modern life the same law applies and business leaders lose companies when they trust partners blindly in politics. Presidents fall when they believe loyalty is eternal in relationships. Lovers are destroyed when they believe promises will never break. But those who live with suspicion, who test loyalty constantly, who assume betrayal is always near those people, never break because they never rely on what can never last. Loyalty is nothing more than a temporary alignment of interests. Machiavelli forced us to see this truth. Men do not serve others for love. They serve for gain, for fear, for necessity. And so the wise ruler ensures that gain comes from staying close, that fear comes from betrayal, that necessity keeps loyalty alive as long as he wants it. And when that balance is broken, he is already ready to replace the traitor because he never depended on him in the first place. This is the art of survival, without loyalty. Appear to believe in it. Appear to celebrate it. Let others swear their loyalty to you. Let them think they have your trust, but never surrender yourself. Never let their promises blind you to the nature of men. The strong survive not because they are loved, but because they are feared. Not because they are trusted, but because they are untouchable. And if you live by this law, you will see betrayal not as a shock, but as a confirmation of what you already knew. And while others weep at broken promises, you will smile because you never trusted in them. You trusted only in your own power and control. Loyalty will kill the naive, but it will never touch the Machiavellian mind. In the end, Machiavelli's darkest truth becomes impossible to ignore. Loyalty will kill you because it is never real. It is a performance, a mask, a convenience. It lasts only until something stronger arrives, and then it vanishes, and the ones you thought would die for you will instead watch you die. Machiavelli understood this, and that is why his philosophy still lives centuries later. Because human nature has not changed. Men are still driven by greed, fear, ambition, and survival loyalty. Bends before all of these forces, but fear never bends. Respect, forged through power, never bends. Necessity never bends. This is why rulers who built empires on loyalty were destroyed, and rulers who built empires on fear still stand in memory, feared, respected, remembered. Because loyalty may win hearts, but fear controls actions, and actions decide survival. Look at history. The great conquerors never trusted loyalty. They demanded obedience. They created fear. They made betrayal so costly that no one dared to attempt it. And even when they were hated, they ruled longer than those who were loved and trusted. Because Machiavelli knew, love is optional, loyalty is temporary, but fear is forever. And here is the lesson for you. Never expect loyalty from friends, partners, colleagues, or lovers. Expect only self-interest and prepare for it. Never hand over your secrets. Never give away your defenses. Never let sweet words of loyalty blind you. Keep suspicion alive. Keep control firm. Keep consequences ready. Because the man who trusts dies by betrayal, but the man who fears betrayal cannot be destroyed. Machiavelli taught that you must appear merciful, loyal, trustworthy, but be ready to abandon those illusions. The second survival demands it play the role, but never believe the role. People will call you ruthless. They will call you cold. They will call you untrusting. But in the silence of survival, you will still be standing when they have fallen, because they trusted and were betrayed while you doubted and survived. And that is why the final Machiavellian law is, this loyalty is a myth. Trust is suicide, and survival belongs only to those who refuse to be blinded by illusions. They say loyalty makes you human, but Machiavelli would answer, survival makes you powerful. They say loyalty builds love, but Machiavelli would say fear builds empires. They say loyalty creates peace, but Machiavelli would whisper, loyalty creates the perfect victim, and betrayal creates the perfect ruler. And now, you know the truth. Loyalty will kill you. Fear will save you control, will protect you, and suspicion will keep you alive. So trust no one, never surrender, never depend, never believe in promises. Instead, calculate, observe, enforce, and rule. Because in this world there are only two kinds of people, those who are betrayed and those who are never betrayed because they never trusted. Choose who you will be, and remember Machiavelli's final truth, loyalty is death, power is life.